A flash drive with USB and Lightning? What the heck is that good for? Let's find out. Dave Taylor here, and this time I'm looking at flash drives, but I'm not just looking at a little USB device that you're going to plug into your computer and use to share files. I'm looking at something with a much more specific purpose, because when I take the ends off, you'll see that one end has a Lightning connector and the other end is a USB 3.0 connector. This is the Pendrive iFlash Pro, and it's a really sweet little device. Now, there's a number of companies making these sort of things with a USB on one end and a Lightning or maybe a micro USB on the other. And, you know, it's a category that's really useful because you can actually ignore the Lightning side and just use it as a USB drive. But I use it so I can not only transfer files, but more importantly that I can carry more files than my iOS device can handle. Now, the key for it to work is you need to download something called Pendrive iFlash Pro out of the iTunes store. And I've learned this the hard way. Install it on your device first, and it just seems to work a little better. And so the idea is that, of course, I put this into my computer and I transfer whatever files I want, and I can like put music on there, I can put photos on there, whatever it is my little heart's desire has, I put on this, and this particular unit is 64 gig. And then when I'm ready, then I bring out my handy Lightning connector device like this little iPad mini, and I plug in the Lightning connector, and if the software is installed and it's all happy, then it actually launches that iFlash Pro app, and then that gives me the ability to actually access and interact with the data on here. Now, what might be a little funky that you might not be used to is that if I have music on here, for example, I don't get to it through iTunes. I get to it through the Pendrive iFlash Pro app. So that can be something that takes a little getting used to, but you know, really where I'm using this is for movies, and I can drop a bunch of movies and TV episodes onto here, and then I can just take it with me or give it to a friend. In this case, I have a friend who has some health issues, and I'm just trying to give him some distractions, so I've put some of his favorite movies on here. And now he can put this on his iPad and watch this stuff, watch whatever movies he wants, and never have to worry about how much space is on his iPad and what does he have to delete to make space. So pretty slick stuff. And I will say, as you can see in this screenshot, that the iFlash Pro app is pretty well designed, though in this screenshot you can see that they might need a tiny bit of help with their grammar. It's a Chinese company. I'm sure my Chinese would be way more horrible than their English is. So it's just one of these things that you sort of get used to. And the good news is the functionality is all there. So it's not an issue of functionality. It's really just an issue of cosmetics. So you can live with that. Let's see, what else can I tell you? It's pretty fast. So the Lightning connector end, this guy, the Lightning connector can go up to, theoretically, 26 megabits a second, and then the USB connector, since it's USB 3, which is the faster version of USB, can go up to 80 megabits a second. What it means is that when I'm copying a lot of data onto here, it's not super duper fast, but it's not horribly slow either. If you've ever used a USB 2.0 drive, it just drags on and on and on, and those copies suck. It's just not good. You just sit there and say, there's gotta be a better way, but at least you're not using floppies. So there is that. So this works pretty well. It's, you know, certainly fast enough for you to start a copy and then just do something else, and in a few minutes it's done. So that's cool. This is in gray, and right, so the only other thing I want to talk about is I want to talk about price, because price is an interesting thing because they have these in 32, 64, and 128 gigabytes. So this one's the 64, so it is theoretically the middle of the road. And let's see, they come in gray or gold or rose gold, so they're clearly paying attention to iPhone case colors, which is nice. The rose gold looks really nice. I just got gray because, hey, it's pretty neutral. That works. And 32 gig, Amazon.com, it's $67.98, but wait, it's actually only $29.99 because the company that makes these add-on tech, they actually have everything lowered 30 to 50% versus their sticker prices. Now, speaking of sticker prices, wait, that doesn't actually make sense as a transition, but seriously, can I invite you to go ahead and click on that subscribe button and subscribe to my channel? That would be super helpful. Thank you, I appreciate that. Now, back to this. So, this is the 64 gig. So this is $78.99? No, it's not. This is actually $45.99. And then the 128 gig, the official actual price, is it $119.99? No, cross that out. It's actually $71.99. Now these numbers I know are just arbitrary numbers, so let's talk about it in cost per gig. Okay, so the 32 gig unit costs you 93 cents a gigabyte. The 64 gig unit, this guy, costs 71 cents a gigabyte. And in a pricing that I would never have imagined when I started using computers and megabytes were a big deal, I remember buying a 20 megabyte hard drive and thinking that was a lot of space. So the 128 gigabyte drive ends up costing you 56 cents a gigabyte. That's pretty nice, and it fits in your pocket. Honestly, isn't the future amazing? Because we're here right now. This is the future. So cool. So this is the add-on tech Pendrive iFlash Pro, and I quite like it actually. It's very useful for its functionality of working with a sort of external storage for iOS devices, and just as a handy flash drive. You can learn more about it if you read Chinese at addontech.com, or you can just go to Amazon.com and go ahead and look for these guys. So, this is Dave Taylor, and I will catch you in my next video.